is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my Blu-ray DVD update for August 8th, 2017. So I've got 9 new Blu-rays to show you, all from last year, working on my wish list from 2016, of course. Yeah, all of these are pretty much sci-fi films, sci-fi related. Big fan of sci-fi movies, and last year there were some really good ones. A couple of not so great ones, but I still enjoyed them for the most part. Always been a big fan of the genre. So let's get started. So up first we have The Fifth Wave, directed by Jay Blakeson, starring Chloe Grace Moretz. Yeah, sort of a alien invasion survival action thriller, if you like. Yeah, a series of attacks by an alien invasion has left the Earth in disarray, and Chloe Grace Moretz plays a 16-year-old girl trying to survive and protect her younger brother. Ron Livingston is in the film. People like Liev Schreiber, Maria Bello. Yeah, interesting film. Not great. It came out in January of 2016. So obviously the studio probably didn't have that much faith in it, but I still enjoyed it. I've always liked Chloe Grace Moretz. Yeah, and the actual Fifth Wave was an interesting take, I thought. Yeah, cool little alien invasion film with a nice performance by Chloe Grace Moretz. That is The Fifth Wave. Alright, up next we have 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, produced by J.J. Abrams and directed by Dan Trachtenberg, of course, starring John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't know, sort of a pseudo sequel to the 2008 found footage monster movie Cloverfield. Great film, like that movie a lot. I don't know, it's kind of a spin-off, or if you know for sure, let me know, because I'm not really sure. Of course, it has Cloverfield in the title as well, so I assume it is. Yeah, really tense, sort of more horror than sci-fi, suspense thriller. Mary Elizabeth Winstead gets in a car accident, and John Goodman saves her, takes her back to his farmhouse, and underground he has a bunker, and that's where he's holding up, along with another young guy played by John Gallagher Jr., because there's apparently been a chemical attack outside, and it's not safe to go outside. Yeah, really tense and interesting film. Great performances by Goodman, always fantastic. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead, big fan of her ever since Live Free or Die Hard and other films that she's been in. Like her a lot. Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane I thought was terrific. Really good, interesting, tense sci-fi horror thriller. Interestingly enough, the film was co-written by Academy Award director Damien Chazelle from La La Land. I didn't know that until I was looking at this Blu-ray earlier. So yeah, he co-wrote the screenplay. Yeah, terrific, tense, involving film with 2 great performances. 10 Cloverfield Lane. Alright guys, moving on to perhaps the most acclaimed sci-fi film of last year. We have Arrival, not to be confused with The Arrival from 1996 with Charlie Sheen. Good little underrated sci-fi movie that I like, that I already have. But yeah, this film, fantastic looking movie, directed by Denis Villeneuve. Great performances by Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, bunch of alien spacecraft touchdown all over the globe, and Amy Adams plays a translation linguistics expert that's brought on board to investigate the reasons why they have come. Basically, Forrest Whitaker says only a few lines throughout the movie. It's basically, why are they here? What do they want? That's all he says throughout the movie. She teams up with Jeremy Renner. And of course, tensions mount as other governments around the world grow suspicious of the aliens' intent. Yeah, great looking film, spectacular visuals, really good music, great performances, like I said. One of my favorite films of the year, but reason why I didn't love it even more was the ending. The ending sort of confused me, sort of involving the Chinese and something to do with her daughter who had cancer or whatever. But still a fantastic film. Arrival, one of the best sci-fi films of last year. Fantastic movie, and Amy Adams, always a big fan of her. Jeremy Renner, of course. That is Arrival. Alright, up next we have the Divergent series, Allegiant, or just Allegiant, whatever you prefer. Directed by, I think, Robert Schwenke, something like that. For me, the weakest of the Divergent films. They're not great movies to begin with. I thought the second one, Resurgence, was pretty good. I like that one the best of the three. Big fan of Shailene Woodley. That's why I kind of tolerate these films. I like her a lot. Theo James, yeah, her Tris and Four find a way to get over the wall in Chicago and discover the true nature of this city they've been living in, and these factions they're a part of, and find this mysterious organization led by Jeff Daniels is sort of puppeteering the whole thing. Good supporting cast, people like Miles Teller. I like him a lot. Really funny, good young actor. You've got people like Naomi Watts and Octavia Spencer. Yeah, so good cast, some decent action, but the story is kind of a mess in this film, if you ask me. Shailene Woodley, like I said, I like her a lot. But for me, probably the weakest of the Divergent films. That is Allegiant. Alright guys, moving on, we have Independence Day, Resurgence, directed by Roland Emmerich, of course. Yeah, 20 years later, we get a sequel to Independence Day from 1996. This film not nearly as good as that one. Yeah, like I said, 20 years later, the Earth has used the alien technology found from that film to strengthen their defenses against another alien invasion, of course, and the aliens return bigger and badder and better than before. Yeah, the film, of course, stars Liam Hemsworth, Jeff Goldblum returning to his role, and Bill Pullman, who played the president, of course, in the first film. I'm a huge fan of the first Independence Day. It's one of the few films I've seen in a drive-in theater. I saw it at a drive-in back when it came out in '96. I just have a great fondness for that movie. It has a certain charm to it, and whenever it's playing on TV, on FX, obviously during July, during Independence Day week, you often find yourself watching it. Yeah, Will Smith, great in that movie, along with Jeff Goldblum. The action scenes, the destruction of like New York and DC and Los Angeles by the alien spacecrafts. Just the whole, it just has a certain charm to it that this film lacks, I thought. Yeah, even the crazy scientist who's like buried in Area 51 returns in this film. Still enjoyable, but kind of forgettable. Independence Day Resurgence. Alright, up next we have Midnight Special. Yeah, good little film written and directed by Jeff Nichols, starring Michael Shannon. Big fan of his work. Yeah, he plays a father who's sort of on the run with his young, mysterious son across country. Good supporting cast, people like Joel Edgerton, Kirsten Dunst, and Adam Driver. Yeah, really interesting film. Liked it a lot when I first saw it. Didn't really know anything about it before I saw it, but I really enjoyed it. The ending is really good, really great visuals. Just a really cool film. I liked it a lot. Midnight Special. Alright guys, moving on. One of my favorite, actually it is my favorite sci-fi film of last year, my second favorite movie overall, and that is Passengers, directed by Morgan Tilden. Yeah, spectacular visuals, great story, really cool film starring Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, they play Aurora and Jim, They're passengers on a interstellar spacecraft that's on its way to colonize a new planet. It's part of like a 92 year journey. Of course, Chris Pratt's sleeping pod gets malfunctions, I think, when the spaceship passes through a storm, and he gets woken up early, of course, and then he spends the next year by himself on the spaceship, trying to survive and amuse himself. And of course, he realizes his fate is he's going to die on the spaceship. And of course, after loneliness and boredom has set in, he decides he's going to wake up a fellow passenger, young woman, beautiful Jennifer Lawrence, who he's grown attached to. And then, of course, they have sort of a relationship and a romance. But then eventually, of course, she finds out how she woke up herself. And then events lead them to having to team up to save the spaceship. You've got a great appearance by Michael Sheen as a android bartender. Really good. And Lawrence Fishburne makes an appearance as well as a crew member. Yeah, I just love the dynamic of this film. The visuals, the performances, especially Lawrence, I thought she was fantastic. Yeah, just a really cool film. Loved it from start to finish. One of my favorite movies of last year. Passengers, I thought, was fantastic. Alright, moving on to another great sci-fi movie from last year, and that is, of course, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Yeah, directed by Gareth Edwards, starring Felicity Jones as Jane Erso. Yeah, the prequel to the original Star Wars, or A New Hope, if you like, as the rebels attempt to steal the plans to the Death Star, the original Death Star. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. Not as much as Force Awakens, but still really good film. Really enjoyed it. There were certain characters I didn't really care for. I didn't love Diego Luna. I like the new droid, K2SO, voiced by Alan Tudyk. But the main story that really boiled down for me, really loving this film, was the relationship between Felicity Jones and her father, played by Mads Mikkelsen. The scenes between them really were the heart of this film. And then, of course, you have the spectacular ending with Darth Vader's appearance. I didn't love his first appearance in the film. I thought it was sort of, the dialogue was a little bit off, but his appearance at the end of the film absolutely made it just fantastic. Seeing him in full flow, just kicking ass, was fantastic. Yeah, much better than the prequels, of course. On par with the original trilogy and the Force Awakens. Really enjoyed it. Fantastic sort of prequel, like I said, to the original Star Wars trilogy. And yeah, really great performances by Felicity Jones. Becoming a big fan of her work. The few films I've seen her in, she's been terrific in all of them. And Mads Mikkelsen, especially in this, I really liked him a lot. Yeah, people like I think Donnie Yen and Ben Mendelsohn, also good in this movie. But yes, Forrest Whitaker as well, of course. That is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Alright guys, last but not least, we have Star Trek Beyond in 3D. Yeah, produced by J.J. Abrams and directed by Justin Lin. Yeah, for me, probably the weakest of the three new Star Trek films, but still I enjoyed it a lot. Of course, got the great cast of Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Carl Urban, Simon Pegg, Zoe Saldana, John Cho, of course the dearly departed Anton Yeltsin in one of his last films, and Leonard Nimoy as well. Idris Elba, good as the villain, sort of a former member of whatever the organization is called, sort of been twisted and gone rogue and is all fucked up. Good action scenes. But yeah, for me, I liked Into Darkness a lot more, and the first one more than this film, but still enjoyable. Like I said, Star Trek Beyond in 3D. So those are the 9 films, epic sci-fi haul from last year. Some really good sci-fi movies came out last year, especially Arrival and Passengers. I thought were fantastic. Rogue One was great as well. Thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you.
Bond. James Bond.